Hi, welcome to Suplex the Sticks, a gaming podcast hosted by David and Seth.
Hi, welcome to Suplex the Stakes, a gaming podcast
Yarr.
hosted by Seth and Forrest.
Freaking heck. Dang it. Can we...
No, we can't.
I wasn't expecting you to follow. Okay, well. Hi, welcome to Suplex the Sticks, a gaming podcast hosted by Forrest and David and Seth.
Suplex the Sticks.
What was the name you were making up earlier for Suplex the
Yeah, that's
Sticks?
what I was trying to go.
Supplying the system
planks?
or
Sue walk the plank?
Yeah.
yeah.
A gaming plundercast.
Yeah.
Of course, the one time Seth wants to play something piratey with everyone, it's not a good pirate game like Sea of Thieves. It's
It's the best pirate game, our number one game of the year. Quadruple A, Skull and Bones, Sue Skull the Bones. Skullplex the Bones, excuse me.
That's what it was.
Skullplex the Bones.
That really got a kick out of me at work today.
I'm playing Metaphor Refantazio.
Ahoy! There's some piracy in that game, kind of.
Oh, I don't know if I want a pirate in this game, but I think that would be fun.
Well, you're not really a pirate.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
sort of piracy. You can't fight people on the high tide, though.
The general plundering and looting.
I fought the dragon that you were too much of a coward to fight, Seth.
I was. Well, it wasn't that I was a coward. It was that I thought I would be able to come back and do it later.
Yeah, you weren't.
Like,
And I
You
didn't.
can't.
I got a cool sword.
Yeah. That's good.
It's a good game.
I think all dragon
Swords are cool.
Well, that but
Swords?
all
There are
early
dumb
game
swords, but-
all early game dragon bosses, like optional ones, should reward you with a sword. Dark
Yeah.
Souls 1 did it.
Yep.
Metaphor Refantazio is doing it.
Yeah. I'm chasing a hot necromancer right now.
Nice.
Don't know what hot necromancer's name is,
That
but
guy is annoying.
listen, he might be annoying, but he is very hot. I don't know. This game has a lot of great characters in it
He's
so
got a
far.
very thick accent.
Very thick accent, and cool horns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about this
He's a
game.
half-breed.
It's wow. Don't say that too much more bitingly. Jeez.
The game's about racism.
It does. Yes, it is about racism.
Sort of.
That's pretty heavy-handed in some ways. It's also very heavy-handed about the lines between fantasy and reality.
Yeah.
Far, very Kingdom Hearts
Metaphors.
in that
Yeah.
aspect.
Yep. There's even a weird opening cinematic that looks like Tokyo.
Yes, that was one of
Very
them.
strange.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll figure out more about that maybe. But I'm loving it so far. Really, the moment the game got me, and this isn't a spoiler, is that within like 10 minutes of the game, it asks you to input your real name
Yep.
and then input what you would like your character to be called,
Yep.
which
It's always fun.
was fun. What was your character's name?
Mike, I told you this. It was Isaac.
Oh, that's right.
And my real name was Seth.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Ooh.
shocking.
Yeah. Yep.
It is.
I never would have known that.
I mean, he could have chose something else.
Yeah,
true.
like Isaac.
But it asked me my real name, so I gave him my real name.
One of.
Now they know everything about you, Seth.
Yep.
No, there's still something he doesn't know, but it's fine. My character's name is Castor, and I thought I was being unique, and then I was like, oh, maybe I've heard this name somewhere else or something. And
And then you meet someone in the game named Pollux.
yeah, it's a Hunger Games character, which I mean, that's cool. That's fine. It's a good name, so I don't feel bad about it. So
Yep.
Castor. I guess
Romans-
it's
the
also
Romans
an
used
oil. That's
Yeah.
also an
Yeah.
oil.
That's what I was thinking.
He's an oil man.
That now, if I could put me in a D&D campaign where I can be Daniel Plainview, that's
Or Daniel Plainview isekai'd into a JRPG.
yeah,
Ooh.
sure, that'd be good. It's really hard to talk about what's going on in that game where I'm at right now without spoiling a lot of the internal setup for the game. which I think
Yeah,
is,
there's a lot of setup.
yeah.
It takes quite a bit for you to
I'm
get
about
to, like,
6 hours in, and
what
I feel
feels like the meat of the game, of the day-to-day.
yeah. So if you've played Persona, or I don't know if the Shin Megami Tensei games work like this, but
I don't
Not
think they do.
really.
I think they're mostly just straight up RPGs.
I'm about 6 hours in, and I finally got to where it's like, hey, here's a dungeon, and it's going to take you multiple days to do this, and that's 6 hours in.
Yep. Kamoshida's palace, as it were.
Yeah, and Persona 5.
Yeah.
This one is.
But with fewer things to do when you're not in it.
This game has fewer things.
No, I mean at the beginning.
Okay.
I feel like
kinda
you're in this
streamlines
first
you into
dungeon,
it.
yeah. But even when you have free time outside of the dungeon, I feel like there's still fewer things to do than maybe at the beginning of Persona
Yeah.
5.
Well, Persona 5 heavy hands a lot of that stuff at the beginning.
Yeah.
It dumps a lot on you and then lets you run with it. That is one of the things I've heard about people from this, is that this game does a better job of streamlining a lot
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah, it took like, be it in the class system or I feel like the different, like, social stats and stuff, it's a lot less granular.
Yeah.
It's a lot more streamlined in leveling up, like, your bonds with characters. Pretty much any time you get to have a conversation with a party member, you're leveling up your bond. Like, it, for the most part, it doesn't let you interact with them, which is good. That was an annoying thing in Persona
Yeah.
5, where you had to go on these fruitless outings to raise your bond level enough to be able to go to the next level.
Yeah.
And even the social stats are pretty. It's not super hard to max them out.
Right. My coworker.
Outside of the eloquence stat, there seems to have fewer ways to do it than the other ones.
My coworker got to the final dungeon / boss and revealed to me that he had to grind for quite a bit to level up to be able to handle it. Did you run into that?
So I did not grind to fight the boss. The final area does make it very easy to grind.
He said he was like in the 50s level wise, and like
I don't quite remember. I remember so when I got to the final area, I did spend some time because you can, if you're high enough level, you can just kill enemies in
Right.
the overworld and get
Yes.
experience for it. But you also get
in a weird Muso style way. It's very
Yeah.
interesting.
So when I got to the final area, I found that it was a good place for grinding the archetype experience. So I wasn't grinding.
Mag.
I wasn't like trying to get stronger. I was trying to level up the characters that I could to get their like their royal archetype.
Right. The ultimate or
yeah.
whatever.
But even but I was still like gaining levels. And even after that, I got to the final fight, and it was tough. Like I did have to retry it at one point, which was surprising. I was not but I guess I guess the developers knew that they were able to foresee players doing that in that final area and wanted to make sure it was the difficulty was going to be there for you even after you're just running around through this area, blasting enemies and collecting experience.
Yeah. Last time, 6-7 hours in. I'm excited to keep playing it. I'm probably going to end up blowing through more of it here soon. I just lately have been really tired. The other game that I've been playing on my breaks, and I might switch out to playing Metaphor on my breaks at work. But I've been playing Advance Wars 1 and 2. I've talked about it on and off on the show. It's something that I really love, but I did keep falling off of it because I've beat these games multiple times before. But I bought the HD remakes because I love them and I want Nintendo to know that I want them. Sort of the same reason I bought that Onimusha remake back in the day. That worked out now. They're working on the Onimusha 2 remake, thank God.
Yes, sir.
Eventually they will do Onimusha 3 and then the very bad / mid Onimusha 4 Dawn of Dreams.
You don't know, they could pull a Team Ninja.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I
be
wonder
like,
if there
"You
would
know
be
what?
weird rights renewal stuff with having to use Jean Renault's likeness because he is in the third game.
Yep.
Basically,
Maybe they-
as
maybe they
himself.
As a
wouldn't remake that.
co-lead.
What?
Maybe they wouldn't remake that one then.
Yeah, I want them to because I like that one. He has a whip. It's cool. So I've been playing Advance Wars 1. I finished it.
So he's Simon Belmont.
You could say that. French Simon. Is Simon Belmont French?
Simon Belmont.
I mean, Belmont sounds like a French name.
It does
might
sound
be.
French. I beat Advance Wars 1.
Beautiful mountain.
That game is great. It's tight, it's solid, the tactics are there.
It's advanced.
The enemy AI is really good and they really only give you casual and classic, and I didn't go down to casual because I wanted that toughness. They do have the option to let you, once you've beaten the game, to play it on a harder difficulty. I don't think that would be fun because even as someone that's played these games a lot, it's still hard. It's not an easy game.
Yeah.
You have to be smart while playing it. And if you try to brute force it and rush it, it really doesn't work out in your favor unless the map is built for that. And so, yeah, I just think more people should play Advance Wars. I understand that's not everyone's cup of tea. But it is a great mix between RTS and Fire Emblem style games. And one that I think has been underserved because, of course, they haven't made a new one since
True.
Days of Ruin, which
On the DS.
was awesome. Days of Ruin was super cool. It was kind of the dark, gritty, reimagining, even though it was a sequel. Like, it was the sort of their, like, okay, we're going to make this dark and gritty instead
Let's
of
get
bright
serious.
and colorful.
It was their Snyder cut.
Yeah.
It really was. And I thought that game was good too. So yeah, I'm enjoying playing it. I'm getting my butt kicked by Mission 8 on Advance Wars 2 because it is one where they're just asking you to do some creative troop management, and I am not always the best at that if you don't give me something to start with. And it is a level. Advance Wars 2 does this. Advance Wars 1 does not. Advance Wars 1 always gives you, here's some troops, and this is going to kind of be the gist of this map. And Advance Wars 2, I had forgotten this, they do a lot of like, here's your bases and here's some resources. Build this out how you want to, and you have to figure this out. Which is cool because you're building upon the knowledge from the first game, and you're having to be creative with your tool set. My brain just, in some of those instances, until I finally figure it out, I end up spending 30 minutes until I realize I'm in a no-win situation, reset, and then kind of reconfigure what I do at the beginning.
Yeah.
It makes it satisfying when I figure it out, but if you have to go through the motions of figuring it out. So yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to talk about those games a lot because they're old, but I do think that people should play them. They're special. Intelligent Systems, I think, is the developer, and
I don't know if they made the remake, but
they
certainly
didn't.
did the
They
original.
didn't, but they did get the credit without being in the credits. Nintendo just said,
classic Nintendo.
based on the work that Intelligent Systems did, and then the remake studio is the one that got in the credits.
It's a really weird thing that they do that.
It's very weird, especially because there's not much different in these games.
Yeah.
Like there's added animations and stuff, but that's about it.
Yeah. I feel like it's like they want to act like it's a new game,
Right.
even though they're open about it being a remake.
Right.
Very strange.
And if not make a new one, then at least remake the other ones that we haven't gotten yet. Advance Wars Dual Strike and Days of Ruin. I think those are the only two that are left.
Yeah, I think people would go wild about the remakes of the DS games.
And you could make those single screen games because they didn't really use. They just had the units on the bottom so that you could control it with the touchscreen.
Yeah.
And the top was just the information that you could easily turn it into a single screen. I almost said Fire Emblem Advance Wars game. But yeah,
man, it's too bad that we'll never be able to get back to the glory days of dual screen gaming. I just don't really ever see it happening again. And whenever I think back to it was just so. It's just such a different experience, like having the two screens, having all of the information, having the touchscreen. Like, man, the DS was it was like a perfect system.
Yeah.
it really was. It was a special time in gaming, and one that I think is underrated. People look at it as, I mean, I know it's one of the best. I say this when it's one of the best-selling systems of all time.
Yeah.
But sort of like the Wii, it goes in a bucket of gimmicky stuff that people don't take it seriously. And the things that the Portrait of Ruin and all the games that had you really using the touchscreen in unique, innovative ways.
But it ran a gamut from there were games that used the two screens in innovative ways, and there were games that just use the two screens in kind of basic ways to give you more information. And the same with the touchscreen. For some games, it was the main mode of control, and for others,
there's a whole top-down Zelda game that you controlled.
Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks.
But there
Those
were
games
also
rule.
other games where the touchscreen was just for convenience.
Yeah.
But I think across the gamut, it improved the quality of those games.
Absolutely.
They would have been lesser games with one screen and with no touchscreen.
That's the definitive version, in my opinion, of Final Fantasy. Was it 4 or 3?
Both.
It exists on that system, and they were mostly remade. It's just phenomenal games, and they changed the cutscenes they made cutscenes to fit both screens, which was interesting.
Yeah. The DS version of Super Mario 64 is my definitive version of that game.
It's a fun game. It's weird, but it is fun.
Yeah. God,
it's interesting. I think that critically, most people would say that it's the inferior version.
Oh, absolutely.
But I do think that,
it's my preferred though.
I
think
better
for me.
And I find it to be less creepy, which I think is. I like Mario 64 in memory, but I feel like playing it now, it kind of creeps me out.
What's weird is
I feel like that weird uncanniness is not there in the DS remake.
Yeah.
What's weird is I know I played Mario 64 on the N64, but I know I beat it on the DS. I don't think I beat it on the 64. Because I at the time had a terrible attention span.
Yeah.
So I played maybe you could say I beat Pokemon Stadium because I played through all the gym battles or whatever. I would beat games, but I didn't play games for long times on the 64.
Yeah.
And really most 64 games weren't asking me to.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's crazy. I know that I beat Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie and Donkey Kong 64 on the original console, which is astounding to me thinking about it now. Because I haven't been able to beat those games into adulthood without giving up at some point.
Yeah.
Especially Donkey Kong 64. I don't know how the heck. But yeah, I don't know that I ever beat Mario 64 on Nintendo 64. But I think it's sort of a difference of that was just a game that was available to me on 64. But
Yeah.
whereas on DS, it was a game that I owned. I also think about the DS is that it was in a time where, like, I don't think companies really put shovelware onto it because it was still I mean, there was shovelware on everything, but because it was a flagship console because it was, it had no competitors in that market. And so generally, like, companies developed good games to go on it because they knew that millions of people had it and those games would sell well if they were good.
Yeah,
Right.
it's true.
It was prior to the time of the Wii where, rather than knowing that people they can make good games for this console that everyone has, the companies then realized, oh, we can just make terrible games for this console that everyone has, and people will buy it because everyone has it.
There were so many math and learning games on the DS.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been thinking about the DS, and that is because I've been thinking about the Ninja Gaiden game, the 3D Ninja Gaiden game that was on the DS. I'd say 3D. I don't know if it was 3D. I mean, it was, but it was very weird. It also was controlled with the touch screen.
Recollection of this.
And you slice people up with the touch screen, and you drew out the.
I don't know what this game is.
You drew out the ninja skills. I mean, it was like Ninja Gaiden Black, but on the DS. And this is all to say that I've been playing Ninja Gaiden Black on the Xbox.
Did you spend the $5?
I did,
to get it?
but I actually had like $2 of Microsoft points, and so it cost me like $3.
Nice.
I bounced off of it.
Really?
I tried.
It. I mean, it's an old
$5
game,
on it. Yeah.
and it controls like it.
That's part of my problem.
Yeah.
And I'm also, my other problem is I'm impatient. And so, like, it does ask you to just block for forever.
Yeah.
Like, there's not really much difficult. It is difficult, but really, it just wants you to block.
Yeah. That game would do a lock-on mechanic would do wonders for that game.
Yeah.
But look, these are things that we know now that are pretty much standard in games like this.
Did they add it to Black 2?
I don't know. I haven't played it yet. One thing in playing this is, I guess, because I had never played it before, when I first played Ninja Gaiden Black, the aesthetic of these games is really, it's like the exact same aesthetic as Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
It's something I didn't realize until I got like into the city of it, and I was like, man, this is like, I'm basically in Midgar.
Yeah,
and the outskirts.
There's
of
a lot of similarities in the visual DNA, but also I was noticing this the other day when I was watching one of my friends play it, that the cutscene direction too feels very much like Advent Children and like the 7 remake stuff.
But even like
like Crisis Core,
even like the old PS1 era cutscenes that they did. Yeah, it's weird.
I'd be curious if there is some overlap on
any shared DNA
on the staff
and the team.
Yeah.
It was a weird, unexpected thing. That's also another game that I know I got really far into it as a kid, but I don't know how far, and I don't know that I ever beat it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been enjoying it. It is tough, and it is kind of like obtuse in a way that old Xbox games are. And it's really interesting how long games like this went without just figuring out, we can just map the camera to the right stick.
Yeah. But they were really insistent on not
doing
that for
it's
a
like,
long time.
Instead you have to press the right trigger to get the camera facing in the direction of your... It's very strange. But I think
That's why I don't go back and play the original version of Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not dealing with the bumper stuff on that.
Yeah.
It's bullcrap.
But I've been enjoying it. I'm very motivated to upgrade the wooden sword, which is Like the first is a terrible weapon that you can buy earlier in the game, but if you spend the points to upgrade it to its final level, it turns into the best weapon in the game.
Nice.
And
Whoa.
I remember as a child, I like halfway into the game, or at some point, I remember putting points into upgrading it, but I was also upgrading other stuff. And the problem is there's like a finite amount of upgrade points in this game because like enemies don't respawn, and you can't go back and redo levels. So whatever you get from the enemies and from the level is what you get.
Yeah.
And I got I had to be near the end of the game, and I realized that I had the wooden sword I had done 7 out of 8 of its levels, and I realized that there was not enough of the points in the game for me to upgrade it, and I think it bummed me out, and I never finished it.
Oh man.
And there was no way to refund those points either, but. So
Or like reallocate them or anything.
Yeah. Which is another quirk of older games.
You got to commit to the upgrade paths you've chosen.
So now I'm gonna do that this time. I think.
Nice.
If I continue playing the game long enough. The reason I'm playing it is because I want to play Ninja Gaiden Black 2, which is on Game Pass and which I never played as a kid, but apparently is like the best one.
It's a really good time.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna play that one.
Yeah, you probably.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah, I mean, I imagine you don't need to, but I feel like
I've heard the story is not the reason you play these.
Yeah,
anyway.
sure.
No.
But
Not a
I
single
have
bit.
enough of this memory and this love for the experience I had playing it that I wanted to go back and
So it's your
get through it.
Onimusha.
I guess so, in a way.
Yeah.
In a way. David's in a reverie.
It's just
He looks so happy.
I'm in an age where I could mention Onimusha and it's relevant.
Yeah. And people know what you're talking about.
There's another game coming. It's a brand new day. Everything around me is not great.
But Onimusha,
the world is kind of burning, but
Onimusha is shining is your lodestar.
thank you, Japan.
The aliens aren't contacting
Yeah.
us.
yeah. The 360 no scope video
Yeah.
that I love.
The government hates us. The aliens aren't contacting
But
us.
Onimusha. Do you really need anything
anything
else? No. No, I don't.
Oh,
Man.
Lord. I'm not as amused by that video as you guys. but
That's
You're
one of
wrong
my
for that.
I love that.
It is the
both
best
love
video
that.
of all time.
the serotonin it brings me when I think of it. But I'm glad you're playing it. I got to the first boss and finished it on Sigma, and then was listening to podcasts where they were like, "Oh well, you've got to play Black because that's the real version." And I was like, I don't really understand what the hell that means. And so I was like, fine. So I went and spent $5 on Black. Yeah. Much harder to
the
beat the
original.
final. Much harder to beat that first boss.
That's really
actually,
weird.
That's actually a point that I want to address. Is that this game had the same problem that a lot of other games from Japan did at the time, especially action games like Devil May Cry, where the version that we got over here was automatically set to a higher difficulty, but they called it the lower difficulty. So what was normal mode over in Japan would be easy mode for us. It'd be offset. So our normal was actually their hard mode, and normal was the default.
So I should have put it to easy?
Probably.
I don't think so. I don't know that is what happened.
That's what
in
happened
this
at least with the
case.
original Ninja Gaiden 2 release.
Yeah, but the story with the Sigma games is weird because it was developed completely separate from the development of the originals.
All I know is I whooped the Sigma first boss.
Yeah, I know that Sigma is a lot
Out of
easier,
gate.
and that when they remade it, they toned a lot of stuff down, but also changed stuff and added stuff in ways that people are. Because I remember reading about it when the Sigma trilogy released on Switch, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to play these games again." But I never
got a Sigma release?
No, they just included 3 in the
I
release.
see. The Razor's Edge version.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's the Wii U version.
yeah.
Yeah, but I remember reading about and people complaining about how the Sigma ones aren't as good as the original. Although Black technically isn't the original, it is.
Right.
It is
It's
the
also
original
re-released.
and the extra content that was added. Like I guess there was DLC in the original in Japan, and then they compiled it and released it here as Ninja Gaiden Black. But apparently, like they lost the source code of the first one and rebuilt
brother.
it, or another team built it.
So many cases.
Like the original director wasn't involved with Ninja with Sigma, and so I know it has a lot of it's got a lot of haters out there, and so I didn't want to play it. But it is on Game Pass.
It was easier, and I cooked.
Yeah.
And then I went back through and I was like, this is much harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I might just go back to Sigma.
I don't blame you for
that would be
that.
fair.
And if anyone tells me I'm wrong, they're wrong. It's the one that they chose to re-release last, so
Yep.
not
true.
that old busted Ninja Gaiden Black. It doesn't look as good as the Sigma one either.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it does have that.
And I have to wait through all of the load times. Sweet
Yeah,
Jesus.
the load times are
The load
wild.
time.
That's actually crazy
How-
because it's
How
the
is
original.
it not faster?
Yeah.
I'm playing it on an SSD. I get that it's emulation, but sweet
I think it just
baby
has to
Jesus.
be that it like the code is not refined in order to make it load any faster. Like
So
this
you-
was
or
this
that
was,
the loading
this
is
was
like
the loading
kind of fake.
This was the loading speed that was available
So you would
on the
say
Xbox.
that, and I don't know how that's possible because when I play NFL Street on my Retroid Pocket, it's just basically immediate. None of the load screens are there anymore.
I don't
So
know-
like,
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you,
I don't
but they're
know.
also two separate games. You should try playing Ninja Gaiden Black on your Retroid Pocket and see what the load times are.
I bet you they're
That's
long.
fair.
Yeah, I think this.
Actually,
I think
they
the
might
game
not
just
be.
has long load times.
They might not be.
Well, I know some of those older games, like
I don't know if that'll
When
run
you-
on it. It might.
when you run them on better hardware, those load times still remain the same, almost like they're programmed to be a certain
Yes,
length.
almost like
Yeah, I
they're.
think that
That's
could be it too.
Yeah.
Because Black also has these really long text boxes that are in every load screen
Oh,
for you to
man.
read.
yeah. That's one thing I noticed between the two versions. I'm like, there's a lot to read. I don't want to do that.
Yep.
No,
I just want to
thank you.
slash crap.
I want to be a ninja.
Yep.
I want to be a Gaiden.
I don't know what that means.
And I will not say that I want to be Black. I will not say it.
Do you want to be Sigma?
Oh, I am Sigma.
I don't even know what that means. I'm so like
I thought you were
Have
in the
even
loop,
been on
dude.
the internet.
I have been on the
I
internet
specifically
too much.
remember an instance like a few months ago where you're like, "Yeah, I know what all this stuff means.
Not
I'm
that
cool
one.
with it."
I know
Not
what
that one,
ninjas are.
I know what cowboys versus ninjas are, and
Yep.
yeah,
With Daniel Craig.
no, that was
Those
aliens.
Cowboys versus aliens.
Yep.
Man, what a movie! We saw that in theaters.
Yep.
Nice.
I don't remember it.
I've also been playing Gundam Breaker 4.
Nice.
Yes.
You played it on our friend's Steam Deck or something.
No, I didn't.
Oh, he asked you if you were. and
He
I
asked
couldn't
me
remember.
if I was, and I told him I wasn't. I was playing. What was that game? Dungeon Crawler.
Oh, I thought you were
Clawler?
deleting. You were also
Yeah.
deleting all of his games.
It's
off.
it's like a
You
roguelike.
did?
It's like a roguelike game, but you the way you get your items is through a claw machine.
Oh, okay.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Gundam Breaker 4, it's pretty good. The gameplay wise, it's not as like interesting and deep as I was hoping, but I guess I was really getting it more to just build the robots and customize them in the way that I wanted to. It's pretty basic, like brawling, like beat 'em up gameplay. You got a sword, you got a gun, you got skills.
There's a
that are-
sword. There's a gun.
that are
There's a
assigned
lighthouse.
to
There's a
cooldowns. You got an ultimate. I was hoping like for more of a story because the last Gundam game I played was SD Gundam Battle Alliance, which basically took you through the plot of like every Gundam series
Jesus.
That's
like what, 34 series and counting?
so it's not all of
Or is
them,
that seasons?
but it takes you like through the story of 4 or 5 of the different timelines.
Jesus.
And does weird and funny things with them. And so I was kind of hoping for something along the lines of that, or just like a story. And there is a story here, but it's not really all that interesting. And the only, after the only place you actually are like exploring, not exploring. There's like a lobby area that you go to after every mission, and you can walk around and do nothing in it. And then there's like, I don't know, like 6 unique maps or something that the missions are taking place in. Yeah, and there's no real story to any of them, and that's it's kind of a bummer. So it can make the actual missions kind of monotonous. But like I said, I was mainly in it for getting to scratch my itch of building custom little gunpla, and I've enjoyed that part of it. But yeah, it's a fun enough game.
Did you try out the one Gundam game that's not a Gundam game?
Yeah, I played the demo of Mecha Break.
Yes. Forgot about that.
And yeah, there's definitely a lot of polish that needs to be put into that game. All of the voices were AI TikTok voices.
Boo.
So they have
Which
said
was-
that's not going to be in it.
Yeah,
much.
I figured that they were just placeholders because the opening cutscene is really cool, and the opening mission like has unique voices and voice acting in it. So I figured the other stuff was just placeholders. But the problem is there's a lot of voices, a lot of talking in missions, and so that means a lot of TikTok voices, and it was really grating.
I was going to say I'd go insane.
Yeah, I didn't play it I played for like 2 days and then decided to stop. And I think at that point was when I got Gundam Breaker 4. It seems like it could be an interesting game. The controls schemes. Now I think you could probably fully custom map the controls, but they were sort of weird. And it felt like there was maybe too many actions that then there were buttons on the controller.
Right.
But even then, just the way it controlled just felt a little strange to me. I never felt like super fluid. But it was, I don't know, it was interesting. Like, there's a bunch of different unique robots. I did try one of the robots that transforms into a plane, and that was wild.
It feels like Starhawk to me.
And I did do one just straight up, like, I think it's like a 6-on-6 control point battle where I was fighting against what I presume were other people. And that was fun. I was playing a really tanky robot and never died. I was just wailing on people.
Nice.
I didn't get really any kills because I didn't really have the strength to do it, and I got a lot of assists though. And the robot I used did have a fun skill that put up like this energy cube that trapped you and whoever else in it, and there was this one flyer on the other team that was zipping around and sniping people, and whenever I had the chance, like if it would fly by me, I would pop that cube up and try to keep it from escaping.
Yeah.
And it didn't have a lot of health, so I was able to put the smackdown on it, which was fun.
Very nice.
But
Teach him a lesson.
The controls just it just felt a bit sluggish. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm sure they will refine it in the months to come before it releases.
Yeah.
But yeah, as of this point, I have gone from being excited and curious about it to being merely curious about it. I will wait and see what people think about it when it comes out. But yeah, so that's what I have been up to in the gaming World
Nice.
premiere.
World premiere. I have played a little bit of the Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I can never remember if it's Black or Sigma.
It's not Sigma.
It's not Sigma. It is based though.
Yep.
That game's just a lot of fun. I never played through the full version of the original game back in the day on the 360, but I played the heck out of the demo of it.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't really afford too many games at the time for the 360, so it was kind of just like I would switch back and forth between playing Halo 3 and playing the Ninja Gaiden 2 demo, and it's wonderful being able to play that game again. And it looks phenomenal too. And it still plays pretty much exactly the same, and it feels so good. It hasn't aged a day. And I'm really excited to play some more of it and see what I've missed out on all these years.
Nice.
Yeah. And then that, still slamming my head against the wall that is the final boss of the Elden Ring DLC. I came to the conclusion within the last week that I have attempted the boss fight over 100 times now, which is...
It's a choice you're making.
Yeah, I'm
Just
gonna beat him.
Give up like I
No,
did
dude.
against Ishin Ashina.
Not happen. I've been making good headway. I have taken off all of my equipment, so I only have my swords now, so I can get a light roll, so I can dodge.
That's not
That'll
gonna
do
do
it.
it.
Listen, buddy.
I don't know what to tell
the
you.
first
Now
attempt
you
that
gotta
I
do is
did
put a
that,
pot on your head.
I would be over the weight limit, unfortunately, for the light roll. Believe me, I tried. But you say it won't work. But the first run that I had with that strategy, I had a perfect first phase run. Got him most of the way through the second phase. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
So that gave me the extra boost that I needed to really try and see this through. And I think the end is near. You know? I feel it in my bones. It's going to happen sometime this week or next. I know it to be true.
Yeah, sure.
I hope the time is worth it for you, because you could be playing other things.
So many other things. Well, great news. I have started playing other things.
Yeah, we heard about one thing.
I've started playing Fortnite again.
Yeah, boy.
Which means
Forrest's other friends can get him to play it, but I can't.
Listen, buddy, you're
Look,
the
they're
one who
just
got me
more-
started in the first
They're
place.
just more influential than you.
They are.
They're
I'm not
influencers.
an influencer.
Yeah. But listen, buddy, you're the one who got me started last year. It is because of you.
I know, but
Because of you.
I also want more friends to play Helldivers too, so I can use the shovel.
Like a Shovel
I'm
Knight.
too underleveled compared to you in Helldivers 2. I
No,
don't
you're
know.
not.
I've
level on
not played since a month after.
There's no leveling that matters.
You're saying if we go to like a level 11 planet, I'm not going to
We're
get
not going to
absolutely
do that.
demolished?
Why would we do that?
I don't know. I worry.
choose
I
That makes it hard for everyone.
I fear
Yeah.
I'll be left behind.
No, you choose the mission difficulty going in. Brandon and I were playing, just us two doing level 3 missions and having
The
a
levels
grand
that you
time.
can only give you more
Oh.
gear.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I get for never being
You're
the
not
lobby leader.
You're not
going
locked
into...
into higher difficulties just because your character is leveled up.
I see.
You get to choose.
I never.
And if you had to choose.
If you had to choose. God. In most of these types of games, I'm never the lobby leader, so I never have to make all these decisions. So I never know.
Yeah,
Dang.
I'm the one that makes them.
Yeah. Dang. Well, that may change how much I play Helldivers then. Maybe you'll see me back on there. But yeah, I started playing Fortnite again. Within a few matches, both of my teammates were dead most of the time, and I was just locking in and cleaning house. And
You're absolutely
one of these
goated.
matches, I was
Coated with the sauce.
yes,
You may
absolutely.
as well be wearing the OG John Wick skin. You're so good.
I may as well be. And then, yeah, a few matches into the night, I practically single-handedly got not
The
single-handedly.
fat dub.
My teammates made it through the majority of the round until like the last like 10 minutes. And then they got whittled down to just me, and then the last 5 minutes was just me.
Y'all were playing no builds, right?
No build, yeah.
Yeah,
we
that's what you got to do.
we
you
can't
know, if you
mess
play
with the build
singles,
proper.
you have to win single-handedly.
This is true. Maybe I'll
I
give
did
that
that
an
once.
attempt.
It is much
Did
harder.
you win?
Yeah,
Yeah.
by hiding in a house while the storm killed the other people.
That is slightly what
the
my
craziest win I
strategy
ever had.
was.
I
In
think
the
it's the
last
only
week
one I've
there.
ever had in Fortnite.
Wow. Oh, I fought one of the area bosses in like the floating islands.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, and you can get like this medallion from him that that turns you invisible while you're sprinting.
Did
that
you
saved my
become
butt. I
Godzilla?
didn't know, unfortunately.
That's over now.
Yeah. But my friend does have the Miku skin. So
The meat goose skin?
Miku?
Oh,
Hatsune Miku?
yes.
I would be interested in a meat goose skin.
Meat goose. That'd be horrifying.
Yes, but something within the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Hatsune
You know,
Miku.
there's a
meat
Fortnite. There's a
goose.
Lego Peely at the Lego store at Disney Springs.
Really?
Oh, yo.
I did see him. He's there.
That rocks.
Lego Peely.
Is he like a minifig or is he like just a peely made out of Legos?
He's like knee high to a grasshopper.
Okay.
Okay.
Pretty short.
Yeah, that's...
So he's a minifig?
No, he's hold on. Let
he's
me.
a mini.
This is gonna be great
minifig.
for the listeners. He is about up to my chest. Look at Lego
Oh,
Adventure Peely.
Oh, I see.
Right, so it's a minifig version, but
Yeah,
built
But built
out
to
built
of
large
regular
scale.
size Legos.
Yeah.
I see.
Also, I think he's new. There's a new Spider-Man there.
Oh, that
Spider-Man
rocks.
perched on a window.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Lego store at Disney Springs is great.
Oh, I love that place.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Ever since I was a kid, that was like the only place that I ever cared about in downtown Disney.
There was also a weird Black Panther Thanos glove that I didn't understand what I was saying. I think that might be from What If.
It is.
Oh, it is?
That looks pretty cool, honestly.
Okay, because that makes me happy to know that they're not just making random Thanos gloves.
just because. Yeah.
So you watch What If?
I do not, but I have seen a clip with him in that.
Okay, well, there you go.
I
Yeah.
believe it was part of the fight against Ultron.
All right.
Yes, that is.
After he became aware of the Watcher and somehow took his
And then he
multiversal
watched
powers.
over everybody.
I don't know. I don't remember. It was dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Fortnite, though. Got a #1 victory royale.
We could play the survival mode in the Lego game.
Did you get a chicken dinner?
No, but I got a crown.
Yeah. Crowns
Like
are
a
what you get. in
Crown for a
Fortnite.
king.
A Burger King
true.
crown.
You rule.
You had it your way.
I did. And my way was locking the heck in and snatching a fat Dubsky.
I learned today that there's going to be a new Smurfs movie because of Burger King. It was on the Crown.
Oh, I thought you meant it was going to exist because Burger King was going to make it so.
Yeah.
But that's how I learned
But
it was happening.
God.
It's like
Gotcha.
it's the Sneak King, but a movie.
Yeah.
And it's Smurfs. That would be weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that would work.
Bring back Sneak King.
Can we get Yeah, why didn't we get what was that? Amazon video game anthology show Secret Level?
Yeah.
Why didn't we
Why
get a
not
Sneak King episode?
How it's so weird to think there was a time that Burger King released full retail video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For what was it, like $3
Yeah,
or something?
like
Like
that.
it was super cheap even at the time of new release.
And they were better than most shovelware.
Yeah.
Strange days used to be in video games.
We
Now,
don't-
now everything is predictable.
We don't even get shovelware movie tie-in games anymore.
That was stupid.
We used to be a proper country.
There has to be a way to get us back there.
I mean, shareholders just have to be the ones to not be making these decisions.
Yeah.
Actually,
And the
maybe that
people-
is actually why those
But
tie-in
also
games got made anyways.
But
I don't
also
know.
consumers have to be
Willing
They
to...
have to be-
Development
they-
cycles have to be shorter.
they have to show a willingness to buy games that aren't gigantic AAA things.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I think...
I played that Lemony Snicket's movie tie-in platformer. That was really fun.
Yeah?
Back when that movie
The only
came
movie
out.
tie-ins we get now are Lego.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's become the movie tie-in.
Those are good, though,
And they
usually.
do have the energy of old movie and TV show tie-in.
They
games.
really do.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's
that's
not
what
quite
I
the
want.
same, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I've ranted so many times about inflated budgets for game development and the cycles being so much longer than they need to be. But I feel like that's beating a dead horse for me if I try
It is.
saying it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. All those studios went out of business for a reason, which is the problem.
Yeah.
It's
Listen,
that people stopped buying them.
All I'm saying is that I want a tie-in game for both the Superman movie that's coming out this year and the Fantastic Four movie.
There is no good Superman game.
I
You
know.
have to understand this.
I know. I didn't say I wanted a good one. I said I wanted
Just
a
want
movie
one.
tie-in.
How?
What if they reskin Superman 64, but as
Why did they hide his
Corin
stretchy?
Sweat Superman?
Because it's going to look weird.
Yeah.
They hid the stretchy.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Maybe they haven't.
What if he doesn't have stretchy powers?
Maybe they.
What if he
haven't-
doesn't have powers?
I won't like that.
I know.
Yeah,
I
because
want the stretchy.
in that scene, he's talking to Sue about how everyone else changed. It would be interesting. Maybe he gets his powers in a different way.
Curious.
Whatever. That makes me mad. I don't want to think about it that way because that'll make me bitter.
Oh boy.
So supposedly, within the next 2 weeks, we're at least getting a PlayStation State of Play, possibly a Nintendo Direct for the Switch One. They have announced that April 2nd is when we're going to get the Switch 2 Direct.
It's a good thing it isn't a day before.
Yeah.
One day previous.
Man, I
we-
wish it was.
Do we get Halo Master Chief Collection on either of these consoles?
That's interesting.
I mean, we've had...
Interesting.
I feel like this rumor has been going around for years now.
Yeah, but it's happening more than ever now.
Sure, but the fact that it was already a rumor before and didn't happen kind of makes me feel like this set of rumors is also just as equally baseless.
The dam is broken.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I know Phil
Indiana
Spencer
Jones.
is cool with it, but this always comes down to the other end of the aisle. Are the other companies cool with having Xbox games?
Well, Nintendo for sure is, but I think this is a bit different because for a long time it was like, okay, Game Pass on Switch, Game Pass on Switch.
I don't
Yeah.
know if that's really. I don't know if Sony can tell Xbox we don't want your game on our. Like they're.
They probably can.
I guess they could. Like what does that? What does that really get them? I don't know.
Inflated sense of superiority.
Yeah, they do like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we get
Certainly
on the
some.
Switch too.
Certainly some. Microsoft properties are going to be on other consoles.
Yeah.
We'll see if Halo is one of them.
I mean, in my opinion, Halo is the Microsoft property,
Oh,
or at
sure.
least was
Of course it
for
is.
a considerable period of time, regardless of how it has fared in the modern era. That was the Microsoft franchise. You couldn't escape it.
Yeah, it was right there alongside Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
You
get it.
It was really Xbox exclusive.
I know.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm just saying. I think that this is where the floodgates open. Forza,
Floodgate, like the mission in Halo 3.
Forza Horizon has already jumped.
Jump ship.
Indiana
Jumped
Jones
car.
is coming sometime this year for PlayStation.
Yeah.
The games are they are going to be on the Switch too. At least
Switch does have games.
it does, and it
Forza
So
Horizon. You know, I saw a reel the other day of a guy, and he was driving in Forza Horizon, and his friend was alongside him, or I guess a bot version of his friend, as is in her Forza Horizon. And of course, the song from Fast and Furious was playing, and the caption was like, "Bro been dead for 2 years, but I can still race with him in Forza Horizon 4." And it made me very, very sad.
I am not going to recover from this.
I think if that happened to me in a game, I feel like I would have an emotional breakdown.
Oh my god!
I bet that person has probably dealt with those emotions, and so now is to a point where he can appreciate this little remnant of his past friend.
Yeah,
that
but
can,
oh my
still,
god,
it's just...
that has me thinking. We had
it would bum me out so hard.
like
I don't think I'd be able to play the game again.
Yeah, so we had like Gran Turismo 3 and then this one Grand Prix Rally game for the PS2 back in the day that my dad loved. And I know it had that like that mechanic in the game where like you basically race yourself. You do a ghost race against yourself. And like I'm curious to see, cuz I have the memory cards and everything. I'm curious to see if his fastest time on those tracks is what the ghost is for it currently. That like I don't know. I never considered.
You don't want the emotional weight of that.
That remains to be seen.
I think it would be a bad time.
I think it would hurt, but
be a bad time.
I don't think it would necessarily be a bad thing.
Yeah, but then when you beat
I'm
his
curious
ghost is
now.
replaced.
Oh, I wouldn't beat it. That's the thing.
His ghost will live forever in my memory card.
I thought you were
It's a
about
Black
to
Mirror
quote.
episode.
I thought he was about to quote Sephiroth from Advent Children.
I have not
I will
seen
never
Advent Children.
be-
How could I quote it?
A memory.
So stupid. I hate Sephiroth in that movie.
No, you don't. You
hate
love
everything
him.
about
No, he's
that
awesome.
movie.
He rocks. They just redid that whole scene for the ending of 7 remake a few years back.
Bizarre.
And it rocked then.
It was, but it was removed from the context of Advent Children, which made it good.
That just means it is inherently good.
It's gonna
Removed from the
it's gonna be
context.
great when we get Yazoo.
The content is good.
Kadash,
The
and
context
Lost
is
in the
bad.
next- Yeah, just wait till we get them
I'm
at
gonna
the
rage if they show up. In
That's
3.
going to be our game of the year that year. We will find a way to make it happen.
I would fight God to make it happen.
Yeah.
That game
Then
needs
play
to come out.
Xenoblade.
That game needs to come out.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Requiem or
Relife.
Remembrance or Relinquish.
Relinquished.
Ring.
Ring.
Relink.
Return.
Isn't
Relink
that
is a
the...
Kingdom
Yeah, I was
Hearts,
about to say, isn't that the Kingdom Hearts?
Remind. Remember how hyped we were for Remind?
Yeah.
So another thing Nintendo did
Still
the
haven't
other
played
day
that.
is they confirmed that Metroid Prime 2 and
3 remasters were in the...
sorry, no. They confirmed
Yeah?
that Metroid Prime 4 and some other game that were coming out this year, and Pokemon ZA.
Yes.
But without a date. They're just like, they're coming out in 2025. I wonder, do you think there's any announced titles that get pushed to be Switch 2 games exclusively?
No, I think they do a cross-gen for Metroid Prime 4.
That makes sense.
I feel like we talked about this the other week.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know if it'll be cross-gen. That's my other... I think you'll just be able to download maybe sort of Xbox Series X style, where you'll download more shaders or whatever. That sounds like... Because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about,
More
really.
triangles.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
triangles. You'll download a higher fidelity version of the
Patch.
game
Yeah.
as a patch for the Switch 2. Because it's all backwards compatible.
Yep.
So, like...
No need to
I
go
don't
through
think
the effort
that
of making
owning
entire
a Switch
separate
2 is
version.
going to make, Breath of the Wild immediately run at 60 frames. I don't think that's how that's going to
God,
work.
that would be nice.
It would be nice.
I bet they will make it run.
But they will. No, they will go back and, like, let you you know.
Yeah.
And I might replay that.
If it does, yeah.
Man.
I've been thinking about that game lately.
Yeah, I think about that game a lot. But, yeah, you know, they're we're getting Xenoblade Chronicles X soon, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
February?
That has a release date.
Is it this month? Next month?
I don't know.
I can't remember. I have to beat Metaphor before that.
Yeah. But I thought you were going to wait to play that on Switch too.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I need to see if they're gonna do the thing,
Fair.
make it better on
You could at least buy it on release.
Yeah.
Why did I search Metaphor Refantazio?
Switch
It's
2.
'cause I'm tired.
Launch day.
It might. Don't put it past them.
Yeah.
No, God, that's right. It came out already.
Metaphor
So,
did.
yeah, no, Xenoblade.
Yeah, it came out
So-
many
Yeah.
years ago.
March 19th, 2015.
2015.
Almost,
March
almost 10 years
19th,
later. It comes out
similarly.
March 20th, 2025. So I've got time.
Wait, the original release of it was almost 10
2015.
years in one day before this year's release of it?
Yep.
Oh, wait, April 29th. So almost
okay.
10 years.
Wow, that's
About a month off.
awesome.
Yep. 9 years, 11 months.
9/11. So,
Hopefully they reenact it in the game.
like they did in the Fortnite thing.
I mean,
said.
honestly, the beginning of that game is not. I mean, it doesn't look like 9/11, but it is.
It feels like 9/11.
It does kind of feel like 9/11.
Do you think they have their own version of MCR that spawned as a result of it?
Well, that's interesting because of the music in that game is very strange. It's very. I don't know how to describe it, but
That, okay, real quick. Back to. That's really cool.
but also
metaphor.
in Xenoblade Chronicles X in the past, MCR would have existed
This is true
because
it
it's
does
just
take place.
it's the
Has-
future.
It's a
Has this
Star Wars
happened in
world.
other video games where a character gives you the ability to hear music? Like in
Yeah,
Xenoblade?
I don't think-
because
I don't
that's
know.
that's like one of the
Yeah,
coolest things.
Hi-Fi
that's-
Rush.
Yeah. That I mean, as far as we know, that does all happen in his head.
Really?
It happens because of his.
Yeah, because he's got the MP3 player plugged into his heart, and
yeah.
he's beating all the time, which makes all this music happen.
Okay,
Doesn't
that's
explain
fine.
how the world is
Why the
beating.
world is doing it. In this case, Forrest, I push back against that because the world is also going to the beat of the music.
Okay, that's fair.
So there is
I'll give
the implication that there is a natural world music,
But I think
That's
I
just
think in Hi-Fi
diegetic
Rush
to
it
everything.
just is in his head.
but
I
in
think it has to be.
metaphor, your fairy friend Gallica
That's a great name.
gives you the ability to listen to music
She casts a spell
on your ears.
in the beginning of the game that is the background music. She's like, music is the original magic, and so she casts a spell, and
Yes.
the background music starts
And
playing.
That
the
rocks.
the
I need to
first,
play
like,
this now.
the first 20 minutes of the game, I was like, it's weird that it
Yeah,
is
there's
so
no background
quiet.
music.
There's no background music. And I'm like, this is weird that this game is so silent because I know there's good music because I've heard people post about it.
Yeah.
And then she does that thing and then boom, there's music.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is
It's
What
it's
the heck?
it's the coolest little addition because it means like the whole game the music that we're hearing the characters are hearing
Yeah.
in their heads, which is it's great.
That's amazing.
It's such
Yeah.
it made me grin so much when they did it. It's like, oh my god,
video
Yeah.
games are cool.
Yeah.
the music. It's happening in the game.
Love that.
Is there anything else?
DMC5 kind of did that. Like Nero was listening to Devil Trigger in the opening of the game.
Sure.
And of course, famously, Jack Garland
Yes.
put on his headphones and
sir.
started listening to butt rock.
Then at one point it listened like New York or something.
No, that's
That's
just
the
over the
trailer.
ending credits.
Oh yeah.
Or was it the? It
can't
wasn't.
remember.
It might be in the trailer.
I thought it was the trailer, but I think it's definitely the ending
But-
credits.
Well, was there anything else y'all wanted to talk about?
No.
No, we
No.
covered the Onimusha 2 thing earlier. God bless.
Onimusha 2.
Can't tell you how excited I was to see that tweet.
It made me so happy. And I'm glad you shared it because I don't have Twitter anymore.
Yeah.
My account's still on there, but I'm not on there.
Fair. You're living a better life because of it.
I have my scrolling has gone down 1,000%. I feel like Marvel Snap Time has gone up, but
Screen time is the same, but what you're doing is different.
I forgot about the Battlefield stuff.
Who cares?
yeah,
I mean,
it's
I
just
kind of.
Battlefield.
Vincent Pella
Unless
make a
unless they
Battlefield
make it more like Titanfall, then I don't care.
Yeah.
Titanfield.
And that
Who's
would be
to say?
nice. Add mechs.
Yeah.
To
But
Battlefield.
Honestly, the fact that Vince Zampella is gone from that feels like it makes it less likely for another Titanfall to happen. But
yeah.
Yeah, it's never going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I don't
And
think.
they're waiting until now. The internal is like they wanted to do a big Apex 2.0, and now they're waiting for that for after Battlefield and stuff. So we'll never. It's fine.
fun
dead.
for them.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Bully for them.
Love EA. Just
I love leaving Activision to form your own company and then letting them become subject to the whims of.
hey, bud.
You
You gotta understand, it's what these people do. Bungie did it.
Yep.
Bungie. It's
Bungie did it twice.
yeah. They fight for their freedom and then they get
Stop
sucked
making
right
money.
back in. and
Yep.
It's what it is.
Game development is a hellscape.
Yeah.
A corporate.
And
hellscape.
interesting that both of these companies put a lot of investment into live service games, which did great and then led them back to suckle at the teat of
Yeah.
a big old company.
Except the one true live service game. Fortnite. Peely.
Yeah.
Which is now absorbing everything except for Roblox, basically.
Yeah.
And even then it's trying to do that.
The one thing that Roblox has ahead of Fortnite is that it's been around for a decade and a half longer.
Yeah, and it can run on a potato.
It can. Can it run Doom though?
I bet it can.
Can it run Crisis?
Someone ran a PDF, like a
question.
PDF that runs Doom,
Doom,
which
yeah.
is weird.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, we appreciate you listening, and we will see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, mateys. Walk the plank with ye.